everybody. Anyway, I'm just like beside myself with this whole abandonment to God. Like, everybody listen, okay? Like, listen. If you suffer, right? I know for me, I've suffered with anxiety, something vicious, especially after my husband died, okay? Like crazy. And then when Sarah, my daughter, got cancer, right? You can imagine that, right? Just to give you an understanding of the anxiety. The thing is to have full abandonment. Like, I'm learning to have so much abandonment that I almost feel like I'm sinning. Does that make sense? I feel like I should be like, praying and praying and praying. And I'm just like, I am praying, right? I'm talking to God all the time, but I'm not requesting, I guess, so much as I used to. I'm just like, really, it's just such greatness. It's like, why bother with depression? Why bother with fear? Why bother with anxiety? Why bother with concern? Why bother with anything negative? Because St. Francis talks about how that's living in our lower self. That's where we rely on ourselves, and is misery, and there's no generosity towards God. There's no abandonment there. You're relying on yourself, and that's what I've been doing. Yeah, so I want to stay in my higher self. That's what he refers us to when we're giving God our generosity. That's where mountains move. That's what I want. And to how to forget yourself, right? Like, pay attention and be vigilant that you're not going to sin and disobey God. But forget your desires, because God knows them. And I've been so wrapped up in like, but Lord, you say that when we delight in you, you'll give us the desires of our hearts. And I've been loving you, and how come I'm not receiving this or that? And I'm like, ew, that just leaves me feeling anxious, or disappointed. And I'm just sick of that. So full abandonment is just like, Lord, whatever you want to do, when you want to do it. Does that make sense? Look how pretty this bird is. Can you see him? Oh, he's right there. Oh, he flew away. He was chirping. Listen to all these birds, okay? There's like a gazillion of them. Yeah, listen to the birds. Can you hear them? Listen. Wow. Listen to that. It's unbelievable. It's like a bird sanctuary. It's beautiful. Oh, can you hear this? Wow, yeah, they're all in that tree over there. Wow. Listen to that. Wow. Wow, it's so cool. Wow. I was gonna listen to an audio of St. Francis DeSales, but I was like, you know what? I just want to be alone with the Lord. So you have to say to yourself, sometimes, even though you want to do a good thing, learn from the great saints, sometimes you just want to even shut that down and just be with God, right? And I'm just like walking around, I'm like smiling, and I just feel so at peace, I just feel so relieved. I feel like I'm in bliss. When I let God have total control of my life, it's freedom. He just literally wants us, when he says he wants us to have faith like a child, it's just seriously, like when you were little and you had to rely on your parents, your grandparents, whoever was taking care of you, it's full, not even thinking, like, am I going to be safe? You didn't have any concerns. You were just living. You trusted, right? I was telling my friend Loretta that when I was little, I never questioned my grandmother's cooking. I never disliked any of it. I just trusted that was what she did. She fed me, right? I would always eat at her house, like almost every single night. And so, because she lived downstairs on the first floor, and it was never a concern, like, oh my gosh, is she gonna do this right? Like, I never disliked anything. I just ate everything. It was when I relied on myself and lied to her and I said, oh, can I get that box of cereal? But I'm thinking not for the cereal, for the prize inside. And then I didn't like it. Hi, Mr. Squirrel. I didn't like it. And then the second time she goes, no, you're not going to get that again. You don't like it. I said, no, I'll eat it. I'll eat it. Yeah, right. And I didn't. And so it was when I relied on myself and my own judgment, it didn't go well. But when I relied on her to feed me, it was just like, the thought never came into my head. Like, am I going to like this? You just did it. So same thing. You just trust. You trust. Not because you're weighing it out against your desires and, oh, God, are you going to do my desires? Are you going to do the right thing? Are you going to give it to me? Because I know my own desires. No, that is gone. And before I never even liked to hear that. It was like, no, God says he gives us the desires of our heart, but the frustrating part is that when you don't receive it in this moment, then for me, I was always like, oh my gosh, Lord, when? So you always have this unfinished longing. Forget it. I'm done. I'm so done. The rest. I want to rest. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas all the time. It's like, what do you have today, Lord? What do you want to do? What will you have me do, Lord? Like, what do you want from me? Not like, what do you want from me to do? Like, though I'm listening, I'm just blindly following. Like I was with my grandmother's cooking. You just show up and you just eat, So you walk around and you're like, yet I got so many projects, so many things that are weighing on me, but I don't care because God will do it. I'm going to be obedient, make decisions, whatever's easy. He says, my yoke is easy, right? Amazing. Not to say that you don't have frustrations, right? Or you don't get afraid, or you don't get, unrighteously angry, and you don't doubt, and you don't have all that negative stuff, right? So today, for instance, I was so annoyed at a situation. It's like, come on, and it really annoys me, to know, my peace is gone. So I have to keep on saying, Lord, what do you want to do about that? What are you going to do? And set up boundaries, and I don't know, I don't want to stay in my lower self. I want to be in my higher self, even when I feel these emotions, and maybe they're to propel you to set things straight, yeah, but let the Lord do it. It's much better.